My name is Christina Ha, and I'm the creator of Cat Camp. I want to thank the Petco Foundation, Glitter Genie, Pet Ag, Sustainably Yours, and Armacat. In the most unpredictable of years, their sponsorship has allowed us to remove barriers and make this event free and accessible to anyone with the internet and a screen. For the past 10 years, I've owned a bakery called Macaron Parlor. 7 years ago, a cat showed up on my way home. 6 years ago, I opened one of the first cat cafes in the country called Meow Parlor. 3 years ago, I started Cat Camp. 2 years ago, I started my own rescue. This year, I had to look at all of those things and figure out how to make them work during a pandemic. In a lot of ways, this has been an incredibly challenging and lonely year. But in other ways, it's given me the opportunity to discover the beauty of the people around me and to realize how extraordinary so many of you are. This is my story of how I got here, and I hope it will shed a light on the impact we have on each other. When I started this event, I never planned to reveal myself. The best way to minimize my awkwardness is to stay anonymous. But over the past few years, I've realized that it's a discredit to people who may be struggling with invisible burdens if I don't use this opportunity to talk about it. Many Koreans believe that an especially vivid dream during pregnancy can foretell gender or destiny. They're called taemong. I was going to be the first person in my family to be born an American, and my mom was very nervous. When my mom told my aunt about her dream, my aunt reassured her that it meant that she would have a son. But I wasn't a son. The truth is, it was hard to be a girl, and now a woman, to have to study with a dictionary at my side because I didn't have a broad English vocabulary, to not really be Korean, and for others to tell me that I am not American. One of the reasons for why I want Cat Camp to be inclusive is because I know what it feels like to be excluded, to have to prove my legitimacy, or to be ridiculed for things I can't control, and how exhausting it is to have that burden. So many people share similar experiences of what it's like to not grow up mainstream, and I know how those experiences often translate into a deep empathy for others. This is not a story about me pulling myself up by the bootstraps. It's just me admitting that it was hard to get here, but also a chance for me to tell you that kindness has an impact. It's exhausting to feel like you showed up to a tennis match only to discover that you're about to play hockey, and you don't know how to play or skate, nor do you have the equipment. Kindness is the people helping you with what you don't have. It's teachers answering questions, parents offering a ride, classmates telling you about opportunities, friends standing up for you when you've become too tired or too overwhelmed to do it alone. Sometimes, it feels like everyone else has a strategy for winning, and you're just trying to survive. Kindness is someone on that path to success who reaches out behind them and drags you along, whether you know what's happening or not. I'm here because many people stepped in to do this for me, and they did it because they could see how much I was struggling, and they were in a place where they could help. You're here because you're one of those people. I know that because you're thinking beyond yourself. You want to be the best cat person, to work a job so your cat can have a good life, and honestly, be the incredible person your cat knows you are. Even on your worst day, many of you find that your cat's love is unconditional. You know what it's like to love without bias and to be loved. That kind of love is so unconditional that I want everyone who feels guilty that they aren't doing enough to forgive themselves. Our body doesn't always match up with our ambition. In my early 20s, a doctor told me that I will only function at 80% of a normal person. I can't change that, but I've come to accept that my best still counts. I want you to realize that you are a good person who is doing your best, and your best counts. And remember that your best right now is just a snapshot, but in time, your new best may be way better because you will have learned so much more. I want your time at Cat Camp to be a reminder of how we do this as a community. When you put together the contributions of thousands of individuals, that is a movement. When my mom had her dream, she couldn't have known that her taemong didn't mean that she was going to have a boy. It meant that I was going to be telling you the story one day. She dreamt that her child was going to stand before a large group of people and lead them. My aunt had assumed that this would never be an option for a woman. In reality, I told her I was going to lead people directly to all the cats. There's thousands of you watching this right now, which means that I'm surrounded by incredible, passionate people who are the real warriors. People fighting every day to make a difference in feline lives. In no way can I take credit for the great things that any of you are doing. I'm just here to put all of us together in the same place at the same time and to welcome all of you, my old friends, my new friends, everyone who has ever felt misunderstood or judged, into this world called Cat Camp. Welcome.